Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 2 out of 100 of 100 days of vlogging. I'm up kicking butt, cleaning the house this morning. Just prior to this, I went out on the treadmill trying to crack that 10,000 steps before 10 a.m. code. I've not quite managed to figure that out yet. I got about 7,400 before I dragged myself off the treadmill and had to go do other things. I did some inversion therapy on my back, took a shower, started to get ready, all of that stuff. I've been trying to make a point of putting on real clothes, getting ready every single day, even if I'm not planning on going out of the house. See, look, there I am. I'm showing off my fancy outfit. Yeah, I did that this morning. I don't know if it was a good call or a bad call to do that before I decided to jump in and clean, but this is part of my morning ritual. I get up, I go out into the garage, I get on the treadmill, I do the inversion table, I do a little odds and ends. Yeah, I'm trying to get that stuff prioritized first thing in the day. I'll jump in, clean the house, do the dishes, do any of the stuff that I need to do. Again, first thing in the morning, and then in some order, which way or another, I will then go get ready. Put on real pants and a real shirt and an effort, I guess. If you're anything like me, and I know a lot of folks are, especially nowadays where you end up working from home or some mixture of home and travel or home and office, it's really easy to fall into a slump with that. I'm just me. That's what I did. It's really easy for me to get really pumped about the work and roll out of bed in bedtime clothes and just rock those until I just absolutely don't have to rock those anymore. So this is part of that effort. Yeah, so getting up, hitting the treadmill, getting moving really early, cleaning the house, eating a little bit of breakfast, hopefully getting some sunlight, doing all this stuff first thing right at it before I ever go sit down behind my desk. Now, a side goal with this is I'm trying not to get on my phone at all prior to this either. I'm also trying not to have any caffeine or coffee or anything like that prior to getting this done. It's just a nice little reward. Yeah, and I hear that that's supposed to be good. The other thing that you probably didn't see here is I've got my nice little water bottle sitting there on the table, and I drink about 2 or 3 of those first thing this morning. Pretty good way to start the day. Whew, okay, last but not least, man, I'm sweaty. Maybe getting ready before doing the house stuff was not the best idea. I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. I think it's still fun. At least I'm ready, and at least I'm still doing the house stuff first thing in the morning. But very last, gonna make the bed, something I've been working on being religious about for the past couple weeks, making sure that it gets done. So yeah, it's a little later than what I'd hoped. It's almost 10. I'm going to be starting my production day at 10 a.m. today. I've been getting up kind of late, but I don't feel too bad about it because I've actually been sleeping. I've used my little handy dandy watch here to track it, and for about a month, it's been disruptive. I don't remember what it calls it, but not good, bad every night. It's well, you slept 4, maybe 5 hours, but those 4 or 5 hours were horrible. I've been getting a lot of that, but over the past few days, I've been getting optimal sleep scores. And I've been kind of hanging out and sleeping in bed until 7, when I'm normally getting up at 5. So I'm no complaints. I've been working on going to bed a little bit earlier. I'm in bed by 9 just about every single night, but that doesn't mean I'm necessarily asleep by 9 every night. I'm working on it. I'm tinkering with making that a bit better. But yeah, that's just to say I'm not complaining about it. It's a bit of a late start. I don't know if I'm going to get to be as productive as what I hoped I would be today. I want to shoot at least one video, maybe tinker with that a little bit on the computer, edit some stuff. Work on some of this video, a little bit of everything. I have a hard stop today at around 3 because I go pick up our daughter, Avery, from school today. It's my turn to go pick her up. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to go do that, and then I don't want to work after that. But yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on for the rest of the day. Let's try that one more time. That kind of sucked. God, it's hot. Maybe this getting ready wasn't the right move before house cleaning. I did it backwards today, but here we are. The house is pretty much clean. I've got one last thing to do. which is make up this bed, something I've been trying to be super religious about over the past couple of weeks, and it feels good. Yeah, it feels good, kind of like the getting ready thing and the doing all that stuff first thing in the morning. Eating the frog first, I don't know, it's setting the tone for the rest of my day. I got up a little bit late today, so it's currently almost 10 a.m. I'll be starting work here in about 5 minutes or so. And yeah, that feels a little bit late. Today's a production day, and I was hoping to get started a bit earlier, hoping that we could knock out a couple extra things today. But I slept in, and I'm not going to complain about that. Because over the past few days, where I have slept into about 7-ish every day, instead of getting up at my normal 5:30 a.m., my sleep on my little handy-dandy watch that tracks my sleep here, it told me that it was optimal. Which is weird for me, because over about the past month, it has said horrible. Like, you've got 4 or 5 hours, but those sucked. Those are like the worst hours of sleep anyone on the planet has ever gotten. So I'm not complaining about it. It's going to be probably a little less productive because I have a hard stop at 3. I've got to go get our daughter Avery from school, so we're going to squeeze in as much as we can between now and then. And yeah, that should be the rest of the day. Doing some more video stuff, editing some video stuff. I've got a bunch of emails that I've got to shoot off. Fun, you know, the fun stuff. I'm working on coordinating some podcast stuff with some guests and being on some podcasts and different things like that. But here we are. Oh, 10 before 10. I'm not quite there, 10 before 10, but I did pretty good today. I'm not going to complain. I'm at 8,100 steps. 8,106 to be exact. So by the time I get up and move around a little bit more, finishing up the bed and all that, I'm going to be much closer to 10. That's a pretty good stinking start. So I'm gonna get after this, and here we go. Look, I know that I'm not the professional bed maker here. I kind of suck at it, but something's better than nothing. Look, I'm putting it together. It's a little ritual out of the day, and yeah, it might be kind of ugly when I'm done with it, but I'm done with it, and it means something, so it works out pretty good. Found a headband. When you find a headband in the bed, you got to put the headband on, so yeah. So I spent the rest of the day shooting some videos, going and getting Avery from school, wrapping up with some meetings. I had a bunch of meetings pop up and emails and all that kind of stuff. But then we went to the gym. We made it today. We did an arm workout. I'm weird about gym footage, so I waited till we're in this little nook to be able to show you some stuff. This is us stretching out those hammies and doing some stuff and doing some cardio here with Avery on the Jacob's ladder. It was a pretty stinking good day. Yeah, it was just awesome. This sucks, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I got one of these acupuncture mats. I told you we're going to be trying all the wacky and weird and just everything. This is not about not doing stuff. This is about doing more stuff. This isn't about taking stuff away. This is about adding to. Yeah, this is more about addition than subtraction. There we go. I heard it in my head before I said it, so I stopped myself. But yeah, this is an acupuncture mat or a bed of nails. It's got all these little plastic spiky things. And I apologize if my footage is kind of shaky. I'm trying to hold my big bulky camera over my head while I'm doing this, which is only putting more weight on my back, pushing me deeper into the pits of hell of this mat. I've been using it for about a week and a half now, and I'm going to tell you that I like it. Sorry, I keep looking at the monitor because I'm thinking I'm pushing buttons. I'm hoping that I'm still recording. I like it. It sucks when you first lay down on it. It's horrible. It's horrible. It sounds like what it is. Yeah, it's a bed of plastic nails. It sucks. They look like these pretty little flowers, but they will bite you. Yeah, and it sucks getting off of it. But once you settle into it, it's actually really nice. And not just that. I told you, I don't know. I'm not going to read. This works, this doesn't. This has been studied, this hasn't. How could you ever use it? I'm not doing that. I'm just not. It works for me, and what I mean by that is that when I get done with this, I've been laying on it just about every day for about 20-30 minutes at a time. I'll even sometimes get a little spa-ish, not ska-ish, not cool bass lines and horn sections, but spa-ish, like candles. And yeah, I'll pull out the little essential oil diffuser and set it up over there, which I did not do today. I'll get a nice little aroma experience happening as well. It's nice. But what I meant by it works for me is when I get done with this, my back feels a little bit better. And if you've got a bad back, you're going to know what I mean by this, but it just feels a bit looser. Yeah, you know that like tense bad back feeling where you just need one of those like quick, like it's just let go. Yeah, let go of me. It's that. It feels like it lets go a little bit. So I like it. So it's doing something for me. Even if that's just in my head, it's doing something for me. And if not for anything else, what I really appreciate about these little rituals, whether it's this or the inversion table or anything like these, where I am forced to stop and I can't really do anything else. Trying to film this is horrible, to be honest with you. It sucks. I'm forced to stop and just be with my own thoughts, to sit in stillness a bit. I think the pain kind of helps with that, meaning that it quiets my mind from anything else. I'm not like, ooh, I need to do this later. I can't think about that stuff. It hurts. It freaking hurts. Even when it stops hurting, you still realize, like, I can't move. Yeah, and so when I'm doing this, I'm focusing on kind of just relaxing into it. And the more I relax into it, the less that I tense up against it, the less that it hurts. And so it brings about with it this bit of stillness. This isn't to sound all woo-woo. What I mean by this is as I'm laying here, or as I'm hanging upside down on that inversion table, I have some of my best ideas, I think, because I'm just not thinking about anything else. I'm just kind of almost meditating. I found myself in this place where I get off of that and I'm like, ooh, I've got like 3 good ideas. I had like 3 great ideas for video, for content, for posts, for something to write, for something to work on. I just had that somewhere along the way. You need this stuff. Yeah, and whatever this something is for you, maybe it's an acupuncture mat, maybe it's an acupuncture mat, or maybe it's the inversion table, or maybe it's just going out and sitting on the curb and staring at the sky. I don't know. This stuff really helps me. I rallied against it for a long time because I'm a very go kind of person. I just am. But when you're doing stuff like this, and really anything, you need that dead air. You need that space to just not have your mind on stuff. And you would be amazed how the ideas tend to just beam into your head. You just need the space. You need a little bit of time and space. I thought that I would come up with ideas by focusing on coming up with ideas. Yeah, I thought that I would come up with great ideas and stuff to do by working 10 times harder. That's how you come up with ideas. Just more hard work, just more brain power, just think harder. Nope, it's this. It's laying on your bedroom floor with these plastic needles shoved in your back and not physically being able to think about anything else and staring at the ceiling in dead space. And all of a sudden you go, yeah, I need to make a country album for one of my characters. Yeah, it's just wild. So, yeah, I didn't tell you this, but I think it's also welcome to day 3. At this point in my day, I've already done some cardio. It was a weird morning. Things got wacky. I got up earlier today, so that was a bit good. I got up around like 5:45, almost 6 o'clock. But we were running behind. We had to get Avery to school, and so that happened. And then by the time I got home, got everything else started, did all my dadly duties this morning, and then got started with everything else. By the time I got on the treadmill, it was like 8:30, and so I walked as long as I could. My steps are nowhere near where they need to be. I'm going to have to make some of those up a bit later. I'm not going to try to attempt to hold this camera with one hand. I'm just not. But here we are. I think it's day 3. Welcome to day 3. And yeah, glad you're here. So I've been out here cleaning up the green screen we set up the other day. We're moving towards Friday. So I like to make sure everything's pretty neat and tidy before we move into the weekend because I've got other plans. We've got some stuff going on this weekend. We're going out with Avery. We might hit the Phoenix Art Museum. I don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. But what I do know is I do not want to be in here cleaning the garage on Friday and Saturday and Sunday to then only go back in and sit down to work. I have to clear it out. I've told you that Wednesday and Thursday are primarily production days. You've seen that tends to change based on what I've got going on and how I feel and what I feel like doing. But I tend to set those things up on Tuesday and leave it set up through Wednesday. And then sometime, today is Thursday, I break those things down because it's hard to get through here. This is a garage. First and foremost, this is a garage. It is not a studio. There are cars parked in here, and it's nice when you come home to be able to actually park your car in the garage. So I try to keep this side of it mostly really completely clean, other than setting up to do stuff like this. I'm going to do a video shooting back this way pretty soon. I was thinking about doing it today, but I think I'm going to wait until next week. I'm kind of in the mood, but I'm kind of going, and when I get that, I don't know. I'm afraid that I'll pour a bunch of time into it, and my soul just won't be there for it. But I wanted to take a few minutes to show you some of what this looks like. I wheeled this out. This is kind of my little costume rack, and I've got some shelf space along this side, which is super messy, and I'm gonna be weird and not show you because it's super duper messy. But I've got office supplies, and then Christmas supplies, and Halloween supplies, and Thanksgiving supplies, and just normal house kind of storage. And then I have a bit of a prop shelf down there, really just for everything that I just can't hang up. I've got all kinds of stuff from all the characters that we use. These little rolling clothes racks are just bomb. Yeah, we keep a couple of them around the house anyways. That's where these came from. These were already on hand before I started playing with making all these characters and all that stuff. We use them just for like overflow clothes, and we have stuff up in the garage overflow clothes. But these are nice because you can just roll them around. And if you're washing blankets and stuff and you want to air dry them, you can put them together and yeah, just dry stuff. But here it is. This is what it looks like, and I wanted to show it to you, I guess really to tell you that it doesn't have to be all crazy. And what I mean by that is you don't have to go spend a whole bunch of money to just start doing cool, creative things. Yeah, I bought some stuff along the way, like inflatable costumes that we use in some of the videos. I think these were like 15 bucks each. They're cheap. Yeah, I had this from work because in my day job, well, this is my day job, I guess technically. On the client side of what I do, when I go visit people in different locations, sometimes I have to wear high-vis, but at least if I'm going to do it, I'm going to wear cool stuff. This is Timecodes. If you've never heard of them, you should definitely Google them. But I use these for characters, obviously, because it's what we see in our work worlds all the time. Same thing, like vests and hard hats and all that stuff. That's just stuff that I've just had, and I've kept. So I guess what I'm telling you is be a pack rat. Yeah, be a pack rat. If you're going to start doing this stuff, having just kind of your little junk pile that we all already have, don't lie to me. I know you have all this junk somewhere in your house too. If you say, no, I don't, you're lying. I can almost guarantee you're lying. I bet you at least have a junk drawer somewhere. That's for sure. But just keep it on hand. I think probably the place where I started, other than just stuff from work that I'm making work kind of content anyways, Halloween supplies. Yeah, we're a big Halloween family. At least I'm the Halloween person. I admit I'm the Halloween person in the family, but we hang on to it. So I've got fake skeletons, and I've got dead bodies, and I've got our zombie in the back. I'm going to use him in a video coming up pretty soon. I use him to take pictures of our merch too. So like put t-shirts and hats and stuff on him. It's just use it. You've got it. You more than likely have what you need. I'm not trying to sound too preachy, but just get creative. We make so much of the stuff that I use. I did a video a while back where one of our characters, Daryl the safety man, had a lie detector on, and I'm like, it's got to be a lie detector. It's the whole shtick of this video. Where the F am I going to get a lie detector? You don't. We had a CVS blood pressure monitor. So I pulled the cuff off of it, and I put it on my arm, and I'm like, it needs that thing, that lie detector band thing. Yeah. I've got a coiled guitar cable. I'll whip it around here and tie it up, and boom, lie detector. It's just like that. Just like that. We make all kinds of forms and printed signs and all that stuff. We just improvise and come up with stuff. And you can too. This is not magic. Like, none of this is magic. You just have to get kind of wild and creative. Really, the sky is the limit with where you want to go with this stuff. And people don't expect it to be Hollywood level props. Like, it's a sketch comedy something. It's a sketch. It's the land of make-believe. Just put some effort into it, come up with something cool with what you have on hand, and almost always it's going to look badass. Like, it's going to be cool. So just run with it. So yeah, I wanted to show you this. This is kind of what it looks like. I just have no room for it in the house. It lives out here in the garage. I showed you the little improvised green screen studio that we use, which is pretty, it's okay. But yeah, we've got a little bit of everything out here, and it just lives here. So I'm out here cleaning this stuff up, making it look like a garage, at least for the weekend. Sorry, I had to grab some of this. I'm having some nice Dutch Bros cold brew. Somebody goes showing off in the background. I live on a road where everybody thinks like they just have to tell everybody how loud their cars are. For some reason, downside of shooting in the garage, all the sound comes through that door. Yeah, and I live not very far from an Air Force base too, so you will hear the sounds of freedom, whoa, straight past in some of the videos that we have, or you'll get a random, look how cool I am, kind of shoot past the houses every now and again. It makes it a little frustrating sometimes if I'm going to give you the dirty of all this. Sometimes you have the moments where you're like really into it and you're going in and you're just, wow, and you're like, I'll start that one all over again from the top. Everybody thinks you look cool, bro. Yeah, in your 1987 rusted out pickup truck with straight pipes and no count. Yeah, you look cool. But yeah, it's you can't tell. It's the one thing that it's the one thing that makes me go. But this is the life we lead. This is part of it. If you're making content and you're doing it at home, you're going to get that stuff happening from time to time. I got my coffee and I wanted to come back. I didn't come back to gripe. God, I love cold brew. I came back to tell you a little bit about my lights too. Again, I don't know why I feel the need to tell you constantly that I'm not a professional. I think that's apparent in the quality of my videos. I'm not a professional at this. I'm slowly upgrading gear over time, which that's not the problem. The problem is definitely me. But the lights that I use, I'll pull this one out and show it to you in a second. But I have some of those like cheap Amazon soft boxes. Some of them that come with the little LED lights and you can change them. Yeah, I've got a pretty standard ring light too that I use for some stuff. But this is my workhorse and I want to buy another one of these pretty soon. Hold on. Let's see if we can take a look at it pretty quick. I'm going to try to move the camera here. Sorry, this is not very cinematic. I use this bad boy for a lot of what I'm using. It's this one right here. I don't even know the brand. I've had it for a while. There you go. Whatever that is. Yeah. And I like this one. I like this one pretty good. Let's see if we can get back to kind of where were we? We were kind of there. Is that pretty close? I probably jacked up all my lighting. Ooh, look at that. Now I look real strange. But this is pretty much my go-to. I keep the ring light on hand because I use it a lot more for meetings and stuff. If I'm doing like a virtual gig or something where I want it to be really, really top-notch, like it's like a paid gig. I do a lot of paid virtual keynotes and workshops and stuff. Not as much as in person, but I do those pretty frequently. I might bring in the big lights and make it look all super nice. But for my day-to-day meetings or if I need something where I'm recording a podcast, I usually won't pull this into the house because I don't want to break it down. That's part of the thing of this stuff living in the garage. I take the ring light because it's itty bitty narrow. It's like yay big, but it's a little itty bitty narrow, and it just lives on its stand. And I carry it in there, and it'll fit kind of back behind my monitors and my camera right there that I use for all my meetings and stuff. These are all like really, really cheap. It's kind of where I'm going with this. I think back to some of this more encouraging stuff. I know for me, I thought like, how can I ever afford to make videos? They're going to look terrible. They're going to be crap. How can I ever afford to do this? I need a really, really badass camera. Nope. When I first started making videos, I found a webcam in my drawer and I started making them on a webcam with a lamp from my bedroom that I basically would like turn the shade to try to get some light on myself. Or I would just stand in front of a window. Yeah, and do it. Just start making it. Even when you upgrade, like I haven't spent a whole bunch of money on lights. This isn't a $1,000 light. This is like an $80 light. Yeah. My green screen setups and all the stuff that I bought for different things that I've kept even before I was starting to make videos. I use these backdrops and stuff for different public events and things like that. I had to buy a green screen for something at some point, and it comes with like hundreds of these like really, really crappy little stands. I have my camera on one right now. I have the lights on them. So all the stands, all that stuff, they're usually just like, yeah, those come for free with a lot of this cheap stuff that you buy. The light boxes I bought them on Amazon as in a kit when I first started doing the podcast. And we're having some guests and stuff come in, and we still do that from time to time. I needed some lights. So I bought those. I think that whole set was like maybe $60. The ring light was maybe $30. Like, none of this stuff has to be crazy expensive. If you start like killing it, yeah, like if I turn around one day and I'm like absolutely killing it, like, would I upgrade my life? Yeah, of course, sure. But this works great. I mean, I don't think this looks bad. Yeah, maybe to all you pros out there, this probably looks like hot garbage, but it works for me. So that's kind of my lighting situation. I have these little things down here that I've been using as hair lights, kind of backlighting, right, to kind of get a little bit of that kind of coming through. The same thing in the background back there, you see kind of coming up against the garage. There are those little cheapo LED panels that I think I paid maybe for the pair of them, 25 bucks, 30 bucks. They're from E-Mart. Yeah, top notch, nothing but the best around here. But I'm joking because I've had those since 2017, and they're still kicking butt, and they work great for stuff like this. They work great for stuff like that. They come with like a little set of gels, so you just slide them in different colors. I've got a blue gel on that one right now. You can throw a red gel on those. There's yellow. They come in like 5 or 6 different gels. So again, a little LED key light that's they're probably like 20 bucks now. So I know this one's probably been a little bit weird and rambly, but really all that is to kind of show you a bit of how this works here for me, and showing you kind of how strung together with duct tape and chewing gum that it works. And I think that's the cool thing, is just figuring it out. That's half the fun for me, I think, at this point. When I have a video idea, I'm like, oh, I can make that and I can make that. And every now and again, I'll land on something and I'm like, I need to buy that. I need to buy that because it needs that specific thing. A good example is this video is not anywhere near production yet. It's on my list for next week. You might see this next week. It involves bingo at work and a bingo card. And I need bingo blotters. Like, I'm going to print the cards. I'm going to make them specific to the topic that I'm covering. It's going to be funny, but I can't just have a Sharpie. Like, it needs to be a bingo blotter, and I don't know how to make a bingo blotter, and I haven't played bingo in probably about 15 years. So I scoured my junk pile, and I don't have a bingo blotter. So yeah, I'm going to spend $2.99 on an Amazon bingo blotter that I will use for this video, and then I will keep it forever until the end of time, just in case I need a bingo blotter again in the future. So there we go. This is kind of what it looks like when I'm out here shooting in the garage. I shoot a bunch of stuff in the house too, based on really just the subject. This green screen is kind of my go-to a lot lately. As much as I hate to use it because I just can't seem to get freaking green screen right. I can't figure it out. Some look better than others, but just not, yeah. They're funny. That's all that matters. So, yeah, there you go. This is the studio, the film set of the Hop Nerd LLC. Sweet cold brew. I'm pretty sure that pretty much everything that I do, whether I'm at home or abroad, is powered by Dutch Bros. At the very least, Starbucks. And always, wherever I find myself getting coffee, it's large black cold brew, big as you got, right? So I think at Dutch Bros it's a large. Starbucks, that's a Trenta for now. Hopefully they up those sizes just a little bit. Not that I need it. But here we are. We're working through day 3. I haven't really recorded any serious videos today, other than just some vlog stuff. I'm working on editing the vlog that you're going to see this in. Yeah, and I just published the first episode not that long ago. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you go back and look at that one. I'm working on some thumbnail stuff, and I'm just tinkering with editing stuff. This is supposed to be my edit day, and I'm mostly using this as an edit day today. I've only got a few hours left before I have to go grab Avery from school. I'm hoping to get back on the treadmill a little bit. At the very least, when I go get Avery, maybe I'll walk around the block a few times, go early, because my steps just aren't where they need to be. I'm at 7,071 steps, and it is basically noon at this point in our video. It was just a weird morning. I shared that with you already, but it just kind of got off to a rocky start. Not too rocky. It's just I still slept in more than what I needed to sleep in. And I was up early, but there was just places to be, things to do, lunches to pack, those kind of things. So I just didn't quite have the time that I wanted to invest in steps this morning. One of these days, we're going to break that 10 before 10 code. I even jogged on the treadmill, and I'm still only at 7,071 steps. So I've got some room to make that up. I'm just going to sit here and edit and hang out and get caught up on emails. I've got a couple more meetings, some material that I need to prepare for upcoming gigs and keynotes and stuff like that. So I'm just going to hang out and do a bit of that over time and do it till maybe 3 p.m. Then go get over it. And then I'm going to call it quits today. I'm not blowing past my 4:30 stop point. So I'm just not. I did that on Monday or Tuesday, I think. And it just drains me too much. So I'm going to try my best to avoid that. I'm definitely not working till 7:30 p.m. tonight. The only other thing that I wanted to share with you, I've been doing voiceover stuff. And we can talk about this. Let's do that. I've been doing voiceover stuff with my cheap go-to Tascam headphones. I've been using these for years. They last forever. And every now and again I get one that kind of dies out on me. And I think they're like $15 to replace these. These are great, just in-studio headphones. I am upgrading a bit. Maybe it's an upgrade. I'm doing the Shure in-ear earbuds. I'm excited for those. The only reason I got those is so one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to commit to wearing wacky clothes, wacky costumes. I don't know. I wanted wacky goals, so I came up with wacky goals. Some of those sound like be too much, lose all focus on being palatable, wear wacky clothes, schedule time in to just sit around and do nothing, daydream. We did some of that a bit. I guess that's a way of saying meditate. But yeah, I'm living up to my wear wacky clothes stuff. So when I do podcasts and things, hopefully I'm not giving too much away if you're going to have me on your podcast or you're coming on my podcast anytime soon. But I'm just going to show up in wacky costumes. Some of those involve wacky hats. These don't work well with wacky hats. You have to end up wearing them like this or maybe this is the move for me is to wear them like this. So I got the earbuds. So I'm curious. So those come in over the next couple of days. I'm curious to see how those work. I have been upgrading a bit on certain things, and as those things come in, I will share them with you. The one thing that I did just buy, I am shooting on it right now, is this. The Sigma 16 millimeter, the 16 millimeter Sigma lens for the Sony E-mount. Yeah, I am shooting on an A6400 right now. The other piece that I'm upgrading is I'm getting like a little handheld cam that will be coming in soon. We'll unbox all that stuff together. I'm also getting another camera rig. I'm building another camera rig because I've been getting into some multicam stuff, and I just want another option. I've been running this 6400 for some years now, and it's a great camera. I freaking love this camera. Even this kit lens that comes with it is just this is just awesome. 100% of my videos since having this camera have been made on this lens. I literally just upgraded this, so I'm kind of learning how to use it. We'll figure it out together as we go. But this is just a great setup. I also picked up some of these Nano B series filters. Yeah, that 67 millimeter screw right on the end of this bad boy too. They come with this handy dandy carrying case. I've not experimented with these too much yet. I've got some stuff coming up that I'm going to play with those. Anything else that I got? No, but I wanted to come back and talk to you about this bad boy. It's dirty, it's fuzzy. I put on this pop filter windscreen from my other Shure microphone that's around here, my SN7B, the real one. I've got the Mac Daddy one over here. So it's there. It's right behind me. Jesus, it's right there. There you go. I've got the Mac Daddy up here. I've also got audio interfaces and stuff like that, cloud lifters and stuff like that I use with it, and it's phenomenal. I mean, like the best ever. Let's just be real. Like, there's a reason why it's in every single podcast ever. The problem that I run into with it is I'm always trying to streamline my workflows. Yeah, so when I'm doing stuff like super duper serious, like I whip that thing out. I use it all the time. But for my day-to-day stuff, I bought this Shure. It's an SM7 something. It's basically the USB version of that. Yeah, I don't know what the model number is. I don't remember. Model MV7. There you go. Based on that microphone. But what's cool about it is it eliminates a bunch of crap on my desk, meaning that I can push all my Focusrite interface back. I can unhook the cloud lifter. I can do all that stuff. It's one plug in done. This is a killer microphone. I'm recording voiceovers for this episode right now that you're going to be seeing on this microphone, and I'm recording them directly into Premiere Pro with the voiceover feature. Yeah, if I wanted to get all schmancy pants fancy with it, I would rock over into Audition and just like do it there. But keep it easy. I don't know. I'm a fan of easy. If you make your workflows as easy as you possibly can, you make them not a headache, the more likely you are to create. It's nice to have that there. I recorded 275-ish episodes of a podcast roughly through that microphone and that interface, and they sound probably better than what this thing sounds like. But for the price, to having the built-in interface, the control software, you just plug it in, your headphones plug right in here. It frees up a whole chunk of your desk. You're not having to deal with XLR cables that seem to always mysteriously go bad on you, especially right before you have some really, really great guests on your podcast. All of that stuff. It's yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. The best, but close to being, I can't say close to being the best, but really stinking great. And when you put the easy factor in it, this microphone is, to me, the way to go. I'm a big fan of anything Shure. Like anything Shure, I'm a huge fan of. I've played music for a lot of years, too. You can see there's guitars and just random equipment and mixers and stuff that I tend to just tinker with. And when we were playing live, Shure was always, like those old Shure, what are they, 58s? Those old 58 mics? I've got like bags of those still in my garage just because they're freaking great microphones and they're indestructible. Love. 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you're looking for a really good microphone, though, that you get like pro level sound out of, this one is it. I use this in my meetings. I use this in my virtual gigs. I use this to record the podcast. I use this to record basically everything. It's versatile, and it is an absolute workhorse. And the price point is really good. I don't remember what it is. I don't want to be this guy right now going to Amazon to try to tell you what the price point is on this. And I'm not going to screen share. I'm way too lazy to cut that in. Let's see. Shure. What did I say it was? An MV7. Yeah, MV7. MV7. Come on. Bad internet. The MV7. Ooh, they have an MV7 Plus. I don't know if that mine's the Plus. You don't want the XLR only. We don't want that. We want the USB. So I guess the MV7 Plus is probably the latest version of that. Look at that. I can get another one today by 2 p.m. from Amazon. Freaking wild, right? Yeah, I purchased one other variation in 2023. So I've been rocking this since July of 2023. And it is $279. You can't freaking beat that, right? You cannot beat that bargain. When you can get it in white now, and there's different colors. Oh man, I zhuzhed mine up with this. I ordered. I don't remember the place. They did a great job with this, and they turned it around in just like a few days with the podcast logo. This is kind of the old podcast logo, but it gets the point across. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a great thing, podcasters out there. This is worth the $50 on that as well, especially if you're doing any video episodes or anything like that. It's definitely worth it. Let's see what the Shure SM7B runs. Let's see what it costs right now. SM7B is $399. Yeah, so I've had my SM7B since February of 2020, and that thing is still going absolutely strong. I read somewhere there was like pro tip, because this one comes with that big bulbous windscreen on it like the SM7B does, but the SM7B comes with this as well, and I ended up using this on the pod more than anything else, instead of that big broadcaster looking thing. And I read somewhere when I first got this, like, you want to level up your MVL, whatever this thing's called, throw this on there if you have one. And I had one, so I just threw it on there, and I've left it on there. Either way, it slims down the profile, whether it makes the sound much better or not. I also really like the interface control that you get with this when you download the drivers for it, where you can adjust your tone from neutral, dark, bright. You can adjust the distance of your mic, far, mid, close. Yeah. So if you're doing stuff like when I'm doing my virtual gigs, I have the TV up here as I've shown you. This is mostly for meetings. I use it some to preview stuff, but I edit down here on my monitors. But I have my webcam set up here, which I'll turn it around in a minute. And the reason why I do this is because I'll stand during a lot of these virtual gigs because I don't want to be the guy sitting here in the desk going, let me tell you about this. I'll get up and I'll move around and I get my full shot back here of the studio and everything else, studio/office. And it just looks cool. It feels better for me to get up and stand. So I'll move this kind of down there and move it to far, and I can wander around a bit easier. At least in the confines of my desk, but I can walk and move. Just some friendly pro tip, I guess, stuff that I've kind of been playing around with and learning as I go. But it's a great mic. Now, again, the SM7B is like cream of the crop, best ever. But then you have to get an interface, which the interface is going to cost you at least a couple $100, probably a few $100. So by the time you get an interface, by the time you get a cloud lifter, because those need something to bring them up just a little bit, the cloud lifter does exactly that. You just inline plug it in between the mic and your interface, and then the interface plugs into the computer, and then you plug in the headphones. And so by the time you purchase all that, you're at $1,000 in. On probably a good day, you're at about $1,000 in. Or you can get pretty stinking close to the same sound for what I say, 290, just shy of $300. So yeah, not to swoon and schmooze this mic up, not to swoon over this mic and schmooze. Sure, I don't know. I have no clue. Not to continue to swoon over how good this is, because I will swoon all day over how that's the best. But this. Yeah, don't sleep on this. This is an excellent microphone. Other than that, I'm just going to be back at this. I've just got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to catch up on and edit and tinker with, and people to email and meetings to attend, and on. And then the best part of the day is I'm going to go get Avery. And somewhere in between, I'm going to try to get in some more of those steps.